Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the winter wonderland that is Canada. I'll show you that in a little bit, but it's been a while since I've done any project updates on this channel, and I figured I'd probably owe you guys a reason as to why that's the case. But this is just a quick update to let you know what's going on, what has been going on, and I'm filming this on my new phone as well. I just got this last week, but it's a Pixel 6 instead of my previous Huawei, so hopefully the videos on here will be a little bit higher quality, especially the camera shake. I don't have the most steady hands, so yeah, let's take a look. So, taking a look at the stuff that's here, it's unmoved. Nothing has really changed overall with this. Basically, I've kind of stalled out on the GoKart project a little bit because I am still not sure what to do with the back end. I was thinking of buying a snowblower, and then I realized I don't have a way to get one home. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll just order a kit online. And then I found out that they're $300, and this was supposed to be a $100 project, and I haven't spent anything on it yet. But basically, I'm stalled out at this point, and I don't know when I'm going to get back into it, but hopefully soon. I've got another set of ramps. I mean, that's pretty much the only new thing that's been added to the garage, and by new it was used, but it was also from my dad. All the other Infinity parts just kind of remain in the same places that they were in. I haven't done any cleaning in the garage. I still haven't filled my new toolbox from my old toolbox, I should say. I'm planning on making this seat into a bench for the garage because there's nowhere to sit in here at the moment, so that's going to be a nice bench out of some bed frame, which will be fun. And then the big tower of power here, which is all just Infinity parts, remains exactly where it was and continues to be because, yeah, I haven't touched it. Part of the reason for that is because outside it looks like this at the moment, and it has for quite a while. This is actually the second big dump of snow that we've gotten. I brushed off the Infinity a little bit so you can kind of see how deep that is. It's fairly significant, and yeah, so my wife has been parking her car in the garage because obviously I want to be as nice to her as possible, so that's why I can stand in here and there's nothing in the way, really. It's kind of nice to have an open space, but I do remember not that long ago when there was an Infinity in here, and yeah, thankfully that's all been gotten rid of. But the projects I've been working on have been all inside because it's just been way too cold outside, like way too cold. My garage is, as you can see, uninsulated and also unheated. It has no ventilation at all except for this thing way up there that spins, and that basically just makes it so it doesn't get super humid in here in the summer. But yeah, it's not been the greatest of weather, and I have been not very motivated to go outside, so kind of a two-way thing where it's cold, I don't want to be outside, and then yeah, I just get lazy basically. I've been working on things inside though, so I figure I'll show you that. Welcome to my office space. So this is my recording area, and yes, that is my PC setup there, along with some Fallout posters and Doom and Halo and stuff. I like those games, and I like those posters as well. Although for a long time, I had this in my bedroom back when I was living with my parents, and it would creep me out sometimes at night. Like, look at that face, though. Needless to say, it goes in the office now, and I don't sleep in here since I bought my own house well, almost a few years ago now, goodness. This foam here is one of my current projects. I stuck it up on my wall, and you can see there are some pieces missing and some paint that has been peeled off because the adhesive that I used was from the dollar store, and that was a really bad idea because I woke up the next morning and most of the panels had fallen off the wall. So I just pulled them all off, pulled all the tape off, and I'm gonna redo it with some 3M stuff like I probably should have at the beginning. As far as some ongoing projects, in terms of inside stuff, I've got my first ever PC here. This is the one that I used to play some of my original games on. Let me see if I can show you. Oh yeah, here's some classics right there. Most Wanted Black Edition, that's Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, Battlefield 2, 2142, the good version, '08. These are, well, games that I used to try to play on here, and obviously the specs weren't exactly grand, so it wasn't a great time, but I figured it would be fun to try and bring this thing back, so I've just put it here for now as a test. Got my security bits out because I need to do a repair on my original Xbox. There's these clock chips or clock capacitors inside of them, and they tend to erode, and I don't want my Xbox to die, so that's next thing to do today, actually. And here is an example of some of my PC game collection. This is too thick, like too, you can see there are games behind it as well, is what I'm trying to say. But I've got some pretty cool stuff on actual disc, and also some big box games too, which I find to be really cool. And if you guys are interested, I could do a full video just going through all these things, because yeah, to me they're really awesome. This is turning into a collections video, but obviously I have the GT3 and a bunch more Lego stuff up here. As you can see, I keep the boxes because I really do like the boxes. The lighting is absolutely terrible down here. Hopefully the pixel can make it look a little bit better, but this is a storage area and it's also a workshop. At least it was an original workshop back when this house was, well, I don't know how late into its renovations that this happened, but you can see the wheel of the infinity is there. And yeah, this is my other workshop. I have a few different workplaces, which is kind of nice. It's good to have a lot of spaces to work, but this one is predominantly RC stuff. So if you wanted to see some of my RCs, here you go there. That's well, a bit of a large scale truck. There's some really crappy painted Ferrari thing down there that I bought used. Sylvia in nice and silver. And then this thing right here, which is actually a rock crawler. Let me show you that. Bum, ba, bum, which is probably the newest and best thing that I have. It's got a LiPo battery, which is cool. And yeah, this thing is pretty sweet. But I've been thinking about putting this body from a Nitro RC that I have on top of it, because I don't really like the cage look that much. I like that on the inside, but I do want to have a body on the outside. So that's one of my put into the queue projects. Another thing I've been thinking about is I have this 12-inch sub, which is attached to a big boy box, and the thing is massive. It's one of these right here, but that is something that I could totally put in my Tibron if only I had space in the trunk. I recently bought an Xbox One X Project Scorpio, anticipating playing some of my OG Xbox games on it, but that unfortunately didn't work because a lot of them aren't compatible, which is, yeah, I probably should have known that. And then I ended up getting a much newer Xbox controller because the old one that well, the ones that came with it were pretty gummed up, but I paid very little for the actual console, and it still ended up coming with a bunch of games. Not this one, I bought this one at EB Games, but just like a ton of stuff. Yeah, not bad for 200 bucks, and that was with 2 controllers as well. Did I ever tell you guys that I have 3 copies of Forza Motorsport 4? And 2 copies of 2 for some reason. I also have 3 copies of Halo 2, which you can only see 2 of there, and only one of them works. So I'm kind of in an awkward situation at the moment. But man, oh man, do I love some racing games. Here's a quick preview of my game collection. Just pause anywhere and take a look at some of my titles. And these ones are mostly my wife's. But yeah, lots of cool stuff. So yeah, when I look at the things that I've shown you, there isn't really that much on the go at the moment, and that's kind of a good thing. I've started to work full time again, so I've been quite busy with that, and having a lot of projects at the same time as working full time is very overwhelming. So that's kind of why where this ends up being a bit of a problem to have so many things on the go. I just have a lot of ideas and not that much time. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed a project update and also a little bit of a tour of some of my stuff. If you're interested in seeing some of it closer, I'm definitely down to show. I collect these things. I tend to buy them all used, and I just find it to be fun. Lately, I've been really into PC stuff, so it's kind of been a bit of a habit of mine to be looking at graphics cards online and stuff, and ancient things to try and upgrade my old PC, and I don't know. I'm just out here having fun being a bit of a collector. So yeah, see you guys again soon, and hopefully it'll be a real video next time.